Abbey is in charge, and Victoria is losing charge of Billy, and I don't know what Scott is doing. All that and more coming up on the Restless Wrap-Up.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I love this theme song. I'll always dance to it, even though I always say, Abby, don't dance to it. You look ridiculous. But hi, guys. Welcome to the Restless Wrap-Up. I am your host, Abbey Scott, and we are discussing everything that's happening in Genoa City. And the show is getting so good. I am obsessed. I watch it every, I'm waiting for it because it's getting better and better by the minute. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks to everyone in the live chat. I'm going to give some shout outs here to Derek, to Emma. How are you guys? And happy Easter. Sorry we missed last week for Easter Sunday, but I hope you all had an amazing Easter. And like I said, the show is getting so good. And I guess Sweeps Week didn't happen yet. It's coming up. So yes, there's a lot of craziness that is going to happen in Genoa City. But I want to start with Victoria, because I don't know about you guys, but she is becoming a mega biatch. And no wonder Billy ran to Phyllis. She is treating him so bad. I don't get it. She thinks that an apology is going to make everything up. I think he ran to Phyllis a little too fast, but just saying. But I do think Victoria is super cold. And I don't know if Billy can be himself with Phyllis. I want to know what you guys think. If you like Billy and Phyllis together, if you think that Victoria deserves another chance, for once, Victoria is not going to get what she wants. That's going to be a hard one. So I definitely want to know what you guys think on that one. You guys in the chat, Derek, Emma, let me know what you think about Billy and Phyllis, because they have a ton of chemistry. I mean, when they're making out and making love, that sounded so bad, but it's like the chemistry is undeniable. And with Victoria, Billy isn't really himself. He's very, shy and docile, like walking on eggshells. Like, should I say this? Is Victoria gonna get mad at me? And I don't think that anyone should be that way in a relationship. So I do really feel for Billy, because I think he is torn because he wants to rebuild his family with Victoria. But I think that his heart and his emotions and his passion is with Phyllis. I don't know if necessarily she's the best match for him, but I do think for now, Billy and Phyllis are a really good fit because they're both single, like she said, and they both really seem to get each other, and they can be themselves. And they've earned that because they've really redeemed themselves, both of them. Billy and Phyllis, they've redeemed themselves. So they don't have to continue to be punished by Victoria as far as Billy's concerned, and with Phyllis, with Jack. Emma agrees with that. She's torn. Yeah, I'm torn too, Emma, because I do want Billy to be with Victoria because they have two, young kids together. And I think Billy is a great influence on Reed, because Victoria is going crazy. She does not know how to raise a teenager at all. But with that being said, for Billy and what is good for him, I think being with Phyllis is better for his self-esteem and his self-worth. I think Victoria looks down on him, makes him feel like he's never good enough, like you'll never be a Newman. It's, he calls her Victor. They have this kind of relationship where he only takes so much, and then he fights back by calling her the mustache or calling her Victor. Oh, we got someone new in the chat. This is exciting. I'm probably going to mess up your name, so I'm going to call you Tim. I'm going to make it a little short and call you Tim. I think his heart is with Victoria and passion is with Phyllis. I actually agree with that. That's kind of where I was going. I definitely think, his heart is rebuilding his family with Victoria, but the passion with Phyllis is so undeniable. I mean, they have chemistry. 50 Shades of what? 50 Shades of Abbott. I don't know if that sounds really right. But yeah, they definitely have a lot of passion. So I agree with you, Tim. I think that his heart's definitely with Victoria, but with Phyllis, she has all the right moves. Oh, that did not look right at all. But it's true. It's like they definitely have this, undeniable chemistry together. So more power to them, and we will see how long it lasts with Billy and Phyllis. So do you think, still talking about Victoria, do you guys think that she did the right thing taking Reed's car away? I personally think it was a terrible decision on her behalf. She's rebuilding her relationship with her teenage son. He showed all of his friends the car. That's devastating to do to a 16-year-old that just got his driver's license. You don't take away a brand new car. He was so happy. He was promising the moon and the stars. I'll drive safe. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'll come home on my curfew. And, she just kind of snatched that away from him without giving him an explanation. And I understand she's feuding with her dad. She's not happy with what Victor did as far as Adam and Chloe and all that-ness. But don't take it out on Reed. What did Reed do? He didn't do anything. He's an innocent bystander. And whether or not, Victor's intentions were right and he should have ran it by her, I think Victoria was so wrong to take that car away from Reed. Poor Reed. I really felt for him. He was devastated. Heidi's in the chat. Hi, Heidi. She says Victoria and Billy haven't been the same since Billy Miller left. True. I remember Billy Miller. I liked him. It's time for the show to try something new. I felt that way too, Heidi, until Jason Thompson hopped in. I'm all about a version of Vicky and Billy, but his fire with Phyllis is undeniable. I would agree with you on that. Oh, they're talking about now with Reed. We were talking about Phyllis and Billy, but now we're on to back to Reed. I would agree with you on the promise to drive the girl to school, Emma says. I love Jason as Billy. I don't think Billy and Victoria anymore, Heidi. And Derek says, yeah, it wasn't a great move, especially with how much she's been fighting with Reed lately. Yeah, I totally agree, Derek and Emma. You don't promise a teenager, or not promise, but you don't, you don't take a car away from a teenager and drag him into your drama with your dad. It's like him having a car, he was going to drive her car anyways. So I don't really understand Victoria's mentality there. But once again, Victoria is this kind of way where she has to have control. And if she doesn't have control, she lashes out and she doesn't care who she hurts. And even Billy was trying to give her some common sense. And that's when she lashed out at Billy. And I understand she's keeping the secret. She can't tell Billy. She can't tell anybody about, other than her family, about what's going on with Victor. But that doesn't mean she has to be downright mean to Billy, to the point where she, pretty much chased him right into Phyllis's arms, literally. And Heidi said it's been way 2 years for predictable and boring. Exactly. We need some unpredictability. Is that a word? Whatever. But yeah, as far as the car is concerned, I definitely think Victoria did not do the right thing. And I think it is going to affect her relationship with Reed. It's already affected her relationship with Billy, because Billy is actually happy with Phyllis. So, like I said, we will see how far the Billy and Phyllis romance goes. But talking about Reed, he seems to have a pretty cute girl that's really interested in him, Kendall. I mean, what is that girl all about? I can't figure her out for a minute. She obviously is trying to seduce Reed, she's a great friend, guys. We all need a friend like Kendall that literally will text on your phone. And I don't know, she did not think that many steps ahead. Didn't she think that Reed and Zoe would talk and that Zoe would say, I never was going to meet you at the movies. I never told Kendall. It's like she didn't think that far ahead. But I don't know what her ulterior motive is with all of this. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Kendall? Do you like her character? What do you think she's up to? Because I don't know. I have no idea what, she's promising him that she's going to give his music to her uncle that supposedly is connected in the music world. Emma says, I don't trust her. Tim says, Team Kendall here, though. Tim, you're probably saying that because she's cute, not because because I don't think anyone could be Team Kendall, because what she's doing is terrible, especially when she claims to be Zoe's friend, and you can tell how into Reed Zoe is. And it's so funny because Victoria said that Zoe's no good. No, Kendall's no good. Simon says, you guys are so underrated. And you're so lame. Heidi says, I like Kendall way more than I like Zoe. I think Kendall has more of a personality than Zoe, but I think Kendall has more of a personality because she is scheming. The schemers always have more going on because they have a lot going on in their head. So I definitely think she has a better personality than Zoe, but I think Zoe actually is a sweet girl. So I think she's naive and sweet. And yeah, Emma says, I can see one big love triangle going on. And Derek said, yeah, something's not right about her. She definitely has an ulterior motive. I guess we're going to find out. Maybe her and Tessa are linked together, because Tessa is another one that's been talking to people. Actually, Tessa was like talking on the phone with somebody, and then all of a sudden Kendall popped up. So I don't know if that has anything to be linked together, but maybe they are working together to do something. Not sure what they're doing, but Tessa was just hired by Nikki to be her assistant. What do you guys think about Tessa? We just talked about Kendall. I don't know. For some reason, I want to link those two together. And I don't think Nikki is making the right decision hiring Tessa, because we don't really know her backstory either. And that girl definitely has stuff to hide as well. She's just not as obvious as Kendall. Kendall, we see what she's doing. Maybe Reed doesn't see it yet and Zoe doesn't see it yet, which they should find out next episode, because it's as easy as going, why didn't you show up at the movies? Oh, what movie? So that conversation should happen. If it doesn't, I'm going to be scratching my head. Tim says, I like that I'm actually interested in the teen love triangle, right? Don't you feel so bad? It's like teenagers these days, they grow up way too fast. Emma says, no, I'm all into this. And those kids can act. They can. I was actually very impressed. They're probably not really teenagers. They're probably in their 20s, and they just are playing teens, Hey, give me a backpack. I'll join the Genoa City High School. I don't think they have a Genoa City High School. Are all these kids homeschooled? No, they go to school. Emma says, I love Tessa. I think she would do no wrong, but at least I think Tessa might be working with Kendall. Emma, yes, I think that they are working together, but I definitely think Tessa's up to something. She's a little too sweet. And I know with Devon having the music label, she's probably going to definitely be one of the first people he signs. So I think something is definitely going on with Tessa. I just don't know what it is yet. Kendall, we already know she's up to no good. So if they're involved, it can't be good. What do you guys think about Nikki telling Scott to stop writing Victor's tell-all book? And does she really think Scott's going to stop? Scott is so interested in Victor's life and writing this book. Do you guys, I want to put it out to you guys. Do you guys think that Scott is going to find the truth? And what do you think Scott is doing with Cricket? I mean, that's very confusing. I was very confused when she got in the car and was asking him to do an assignment. I was like, what is going on here? what do you guys think? What do you think's going on with that? And do you think that Scott is going to unveil the truth about Victor? And why do you guys think Victor even hired him to do this in the first place? Didn't he know? When you have a lot to hide, you don't hire someone that's been a war journalist to do your tell-all book, because they're going to dig up the skeletons you don't want brought up, you don't want dug up. Derek says something is up with Tessa. And what's up with Tessa and Mariah? Heidi said Tessa is definitely up to something. I don't think she's working with Kendall, though. I think Mariah suspects that Tessa isn't who she says she is. Mariah definitely suspects that. I agree, Heidi. And Emma says, I don't think Scott will stop because he is so hyped on it and he might find the truth. Right, Emma? Don't you feel that too? I just feel like he's so about it. This is now his purpose in being in Genoa City, because he was so against being in Genoa City, and now he finally has purpose to be here. He's not going to just give that up, even though I would have taken the check. I would have been like, yeah, put another 0. Okay, yeah, let's go. I guess hey, I can be sold. Heidi says, I'm pretty sure Christine used to work with the FBI and they wanted Scott to go on another assignment. I know I call her Cricket for some reason. I know her name's Christine, though. Heidi, what do you think the assignment is? And do you think it has anything to do with Victor and Chloe? Possibly, right? And, Victor just leaves. I don't know if Victor's really just off being by himself and reflecting, or if he's trying to find out where Chloe went. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Heidi says, I'm pretty sure they added Victor's warning to write a biography because Eric Braeden just wrote one, right? I know they do little subtle hints, because Eric Braeden's book was, what was Eric Braeden's book called? Now I'm like drawing a blank, but it was called a certain thing, and then they kind of like low key like said it in the script, and I was like, yeah, they're totally like trying to push Eric's tell-all book with Victor Newman's. But you know what? Hey, more power to you, Eric Braeden. I adore him. He is an amazing actor, and he is Victor. Literally, when you meet him and when you talk to him, it's like you're talking to Victor Newman. He has such class, that guy. So let's move on to Mariah. Mariah takes Kevin to the movies and they run into Sharon and Scott on a date. Do you guys like Sharon and Scott together? Do you think Scott's hiding something? I don't know. For some reason, I'm getting this vibe that Scott's also hiding something. He seems like a really, really cool guy. And he may be the perfect person for Sharon right now, but I definitely think he's hiding his true intentions to really want to investigate Victor's past and just the whole thing, with him being, kidnapped, and just, I don't know, there's something going on with Scott. He first didn't want to even come back. He was so against coming back. He was going to stay there. So I think he's definitely hiding something. I just want to find out what it is. And I think maybe next week we're going to find out what Christine wanted him to do. I'll be damned. That was thank you, Heidi. I'll be damned. They said that in the show this week, because I was like, did they just like subtly say Eric Braeden's book? But you know what? Has anyone read it? I'll be damned. I'm going to check it out. Eric Braeden, I'm going to read your book, I'll be damned, because I'll be damned if we don't get you on the Restless wrap-up as a guest, or I don't interview you on set. That would be awesome. I'm hopefully going to go down to the set and do some interviews soon. I'm going to try to coordinate with Christoph about making that happen for you guys, so that's going to be awesome. Emma says, yes, I love them together, but I would agree with you on that one. Oh, sorry. Tim said, I do like Sharon and Scott. Would still like to see Scott and Mariah. Ooh, Scott and Mariah. You know what? I actually for a second there when they were talking, I was like, is Mariah flirting with Scott subtly? Did you guys feel that? I mean, Scott's a really good looking guy, so I can see why she would flirt with him. But I don't know. I think Scott definitely likes Sharon, especially for the fact that he was making out with Phyllis, like, was it the day before? And then he like wanted to take Sharon on a date. It was like, okay. But I do like Scott and Sharon together. I do think they are kind of a weird couple, but I definitely think Sharon needs to have some stability in her life. And hopefully Scott is that, because it seems like he has a little bit that he's hiding. So hopefully it's nothing that's going to hurt Sharon, because she's already been with someone that had to go undercover and then they weren't able to come back, and it was a whole drama. And unfortunately, things might end that way with Scott as well, because he's not really in that same line of business. He's not a police officer, but he's a journalist, and he does get himself into trouble, as you can tell, especially if he goes back to a war zone. So let's move on to Devon and Neil, because they finalized their papers on doing a business together. So Devon is going to do a music label. Devon, hire me, sign me, please. Love you, mean it. Sorry, guys. I just had to have my little moment there. But I definitely think Tessa is going to be the first artist he signs. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys like Young and the Restless kind of moving with like more music, live music with Reed? And then we got Tessa, and now we have Devon kind of doing the label. And what's Neil gonna do? I know he said what he was gonna do, but it doesn't quite make sense. Something like buy businesses that are failing, and then seems kind of boring, but I guess it's up Neil's alley. What do you guys talk about in the chat? Tim said, but he's new. There's time. Derek, we're talking about Scott. Derek says, I thought that was hilarious that Mariah found Scott and Sharon at the movies. I think Scott is hiding something as well. Tim said, and anyone else want Abbey and Devon? Not to change the subject. Emma says Scott is 100% hiding something. You guys, we're scatterbrained, so it doesn't matter if we change the subject. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about. I don't know. I can't imagine Abbey and Devon together. So with that being said, I would say no. I think I could see Abbey with a guy that's like tall, dark, and handsome, maybe. I don't know. Like, you know, not that Devon's not that. Devon is a catch and a half, but I like him and Mariah together. I think Mariah is exactly what he needs. And I think Abbey is kind of like, you know, Abbey and Victoria don't get along, but they share something in common. They're both kind of cold, you know, especially in relationships. They have a hard time. And you know what? I'm the same way. It's like I have a hard time letting my guard down. And so it comes off as being cold. Victoria, I think, is cold. I think Abbey just has a hard time letting her guard down. You know, especially in relationships. Abbey was that way with the doctor. His name is escaping me. He hasn't been on the show in a minute. So, hey, something Stitch. Abbey was that way with Stitch. And Victoria's that way with Billy and everybody else. You know, I mean, I don't know if she was like that in her last relationship with the Travis. Everybody says, I like the music. They aren't overkilling it. It's been good too. Emma says, Devon is good looking. Tim says, I do like Devon and Mariah too. Yeah, I definitely think that Devon and Mariah need a little bit more time. But I don't know. I feel like Mariah will always have feelings for Kevin. So that may affect her situation with Devon, because I don't think he wants to be second fiddle, you know? So we'll see. I mean, they seem to be kind of switching people by the minute on Young and the Restless. It's like 1 second we got Scott and Phyllis making out, then Scott and Sharon are on a date, then we got Billy and Victoria kissing, and all of a sudden Billy and Phyllis are... Don't you love it how they mix everyone together? It's like, you know, it's not new people. It's like the same person. Phyllis, hey, Phyllis, you're getting some. Your fantasy came true. because Phyllis was fantasizing the other week about her and Billy together, and now they're together big time. Stitch, yeah. I got it, Stitch. But they do need Stitch back on the show. I know I saw like a YNR FB Facebook, I said FB, Facebook chat room, and they were saying that about, you know, Stitch, where is he been? Is he coming back on the show? I guess no one's been in the hospital, so there's been no need for the doctor. I don't know. So yeah, so it seems like everyone likes the music. We like the music venture. So what do we think about Ashley and Ravi? Like, talking about romance, there's just like been so much romance on Young and the Restless, which I love. We got Ashley and Ravi, who finally share their first kiss, which was kind of sort of awkward, especially at the end, and then when they ran into each other and they were talking about it. Yay or nay for Ash Ray? Did I just make that up? Yeah! Yay or nay, guys? Do you guys like them together? Do you guys not like them together? And who thinks that the businessman, his name is Ben Hotchman, is a total douche? Who felt that? He was like an over douche. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm going to make it a word. He was overly douchey. It was like, this guy cannot be more of a douchebag. Oh my God. He irked me. I was like, Ashley, how can you even like stand this guy? But props to Ravi for sticking up for Ashley and himself, not letting Ben walk all over him. Doesn't matter how much money you have. That guy had no class. Sorry. Bye, Felicia. And Ashley liked it. She liked that he stood up for her and that he stood up for himself. Emma says, I love Ashley and Ravi together. Tim says, I'm a fan of Ashley and Ravi too. I think if we talk about mixed matched or unlikely couples, it would definitely be Ashley and Ravi. But there's something so sweet about them. And Ravi really treats Ashley the way she deserves to be treated. And so I really like them together. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I definitely would agree with Ashley's sister with saying, definitely go for it. You know, let your guard down. Be with the guy that treats you like the lady you are. And yeah, more power to Ravi. Derek says, no, I'm not sold on them. They just seem awkward. They definitely seem awkward, Derek. I'll give you that. But, you know, he's geeky and he's sweet, but it's like, what's the other side of the coin? You know, someone like Ben Hotchman, the douchebag businessman. You know, Ashley, I just think has had a really hard time finding the right person. So maybe Ravi, maybe this docile, geeky, younger guy is exactly what she needs in her life right now. As awkward as it seems, she knows how to handle her own. She could be like, hey, let's not make this too awkward, Ravi. Even though he definitely, if there's a word for Ravi, it's definitely awkward, but he's sweet. He definitely is sweet. And I agree with Emma. Ashley definitely deserves love. And I guess, I mean, no one was talking about Ben Hotchman. I'm sorry, but that guy irked me. Every time he was on the screen, I was like, can this guy be a bigger douchebag? But I guess you guys really weren't that annoyed with him as I was. And let's talk about Jack running to Phyllis to aid him in seeking revenge on Victor. So what do you guys think about this? Are you team Jack or are you team get over it, Jack? Hit the door, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no. Okay, I'm not gonna sing. So do you guys think that Jack, this is a lost cause? Or are you guys for Jack going after Victor and his family? And what do you think about Phyllis? You know, she was all for it, and then she was like, oh yeah, I'm kind of like trying to like get back together with Billy. Maybe this isn't the best idea. There, you guys are talking about Ben Hotchman. Yeah, I don't know. I think that Jack, he will always have this feud with Victor. Talk about the show Feud, which is amazing. Jack Abbott and Victor Newman will always have a feud. They will always have bad blood no matter what. And I think that Jack has let his hate for Victor ruin his marriage. I think he's let it ruin his relationships, even with his family. And I think it's time for Jack to just let it go. Trust me, Victor has dug his own grave. He is miserable. His family pretty much told him he is not a part of the Newman family anymore. What else do you want from the guy? But obviously, Jack doesn't know this is going on. But with that being said, I think that Jack is... He's ruining his own life. It's like I always say that, you know, don't seek revenge. I have a song, Revenge. Don't seek revenge on someone. Let them hang themselves. You know, the karma will get them. The karma police will come for you. So it's happening with Victor. Jack just needs to step back and let it happen. We have a lot of segments coming up, but... let me see what Emma says. I'm torn, but I love and hate Jack. I love and hate Jack too. Tim says Jack is the best. He is pompous ass, but he's Jack. Emma says yes, they will always have something to bicker about. That is true. I have a love-hate relationship with Jack too. I think he is awesome, but I think that he definitely gets in his own way, and he definitely always bites his nose to spite his face, and I think this time Jack needs to sit it out. One last thing, and then we're going to get to our segments. Let's talk about Abbey as the CEO of Newman Enterprises. Do you guys agree with Victoria and the rest of the world saying she's too green, or do you guys think she is up for the challenge? I'm going to say she's up for the challenge because I'm all about independent women, and you know, Abbey really wants this. You can tell she does. She's eager. She may be green, but you know what? She's willing to do the work. She has heart, and I think she has drive. She has passion. So I think I'm Team Abbey on this, and I definitely think that hopefully she will prove everyone wrong, but unfortunately I feel it going the other way, where everything's gonna blow up in her face. This money that she put into this company is gonna blow up into her face. But I don't know. I love that she wants to do it and that she's trying and she's putting herself out there, though. Tim says, poor Abbey, she's bound to fail. She wants it too bad. I agree, Tim. It's like, I want it for her, but sometimes when you want something so bad, it just backfires. And I think in this case, it's going to backfire. Emma says, there needs to be more girl power on the show, and I think she can do it. Team Abbey. Yes, girl power! I'm Team Abbey too, but you know, unfortunately, I feel the storyline going the other way. But hey, you know what? I'm still going to send some good vibes Abbey's way, because you're right. We need more girl power. I mean, Victoria's sort of having girl power, but I don't know. She just has this mannish quality about her where it's like, you know, it's not the kind of girl power that's like Abbey, where it's like just sweet and innocent and really just wanting it so bad. But guys, let's get to the segments. This is exciting. So I'm going to do like a flashback Sunday, fun day. I don't know. I'm trying to make my own little segment for you guys, but I don't know how to say it. But I did some really cool interviews in 2009. It was actually probably one of my first red carpets that I ever did for the 36th Annual Daytime Emmy Awards. And I got to interview some of the cast from Young and the Restless. We are going to take a look at some of those interviews. Here is Brighton.
How does it feel being nominated?
Feels great. It feels great. It's just as of an honor as the last times. You know, never gets old.
It's such an amazing show. What's the best part about being a part of the Young and the Restless?
The friends that I've made and the people I get to work with, because you know, this was my first, obviously my first soap opera, but I consider it my first real kind of acting job coming from Family Matters, because you know, I was on it for 9 years, but it was still, you know, I was so young, I didn't really understand the concept of growing as an actor and things like that at that age. So, you know, to learn from who I've gotten to learn from, just the quality of actors on the show. I love being around it, and I love learning every day I go.
What was your favorite storyline on the show so far with your character?
Probably, gosh, I really enjoyed the losing my hearing one because it's something that it's a very meaningful storyline. A lot of people can relate to it, and it's something that you really can't study or understand unless you go through it. So it's kind of just you do your best to try and make the part believable. And to get the feedback that I did from people who really suffered from, either losing their hearing or born deaf or having meningitis and losing it that way like my character did, and to hear them say that I was doing a good job, it meant everything. Yeah.
And look, you're nominated, so you must be doing something right. Well, congratulations. You're amazing on the show. Have a wonderful day. Thanks, Brighton.
So that was my interview with Brighton. Yeah, that was like back in 2009, and he was nominated. I want to say he won, but I don't know if he did. I think the actor that played Michael won that year. But Brighton was amazing. He definitely had a great storyline on that. And I think up next we're going to take a look at Melody Scott Thomas. Oh, is that Sharon Case? Yeah, we'll do Sharon Case. Sharon Case, who plays Sharon.
Cassie's death storyline, or just every day laughing our asses off.
Who is the set clown?
Well, Joshua and Christian, and me. We all like to goof around.
How about the set flirt?
Doug Davidson.
And do you have a favorite storyline?
Well, I mean, I like all the storylines that are up right now. They're all very sad. But my favorite storyline of all time was Cassie's death.
And you guys are still dealing with that now?
We're still kind of dealing with it now. I mean, we're always dealing with it.
And are you and Nick going to get back together?
I don't know. We'll see. I thought that was what would happen, but we'll see.
Is that what you want? If you had to pick your storyline, what would your character be doing?
As long as it has conflict in it, then that's what I want to be doing.
Well, that's what makes the soap opera so wonderful. Thank you. You look gorgeous. Thank you, Sharon.
That was the beautiful Sharon Case. And as you could tell, this was in 2009, so it was a bit, what was going on in the storylines back then. But I think up next is Melody Scott Thomas. But it's cool to kind of look back. And, yeah, I think it was cool that I did these interviews.
Joe, what would your character be doing?
Oh, gosh. I can't think of one that I haven't had already.
How long have you been on the show?
30 years. So.
I want you and Victor to end it back together. How about you?
Oh, you're not alone. That seems to be the trend. That's our cycle. Every few years, together apart, together apart. So probably, if I had to bet money on it, I would probably say yes, but I don't know for sure.
Well, you look wonderful. Have a wonderful evening. Bye, Melody.
And it was Christian LeBlanc that plays Michael. Sorry, I was having I lost my memory there, but that was Melody Scott Thomas. She's beautiful as well. And I think we're going to talk. Is this Christian LeBlanc? Yeah. Here's Christian LeBlanc. And I guess he's the comedian.
Nominated.
Huh?
Be nominated.
Oh, with these guys? I wanted some low-functioning non-talents. This is what I'm looking for, so I can go up there and just ha-ha, losers. But of course, it's got to be Tony Gary and Peter Reckel and Torsten and Cosgrove. These are brilliant guys, so.
You're pretty amazing yourself.
Thank you for that, and I believe I have I'm good. But man, you're in the deep end with these guys, so at least I'm named in the right crowd, you know what I mean? It could be otherwise, trust me. But I'm very proud to be there, and I want to win. I do, because you know what? Winning with these people in the thing, but I'm at the head of a big crowd of very passionate, talented people at Weinar, and that's what you get to hold that award for a minute to represent all those guys.
You've been on the show for so long. How long?
Been on, it's 14 years, and that's not including the year and a half before I went to prison on the show. So yeah, so that's family.
We are rooting for you. Who are you closest to offset?
Oh God, there's so many. I think Michelle Safford and I wrote together. Michelle keeps me on my toes. And that's a talented person when you're in a scene with Michelle Stafford and of course Tracy, my hot wife. You know, but when you're in the scene with these people, you got to play better tennis. That's what you want to do. Be with people who make you look good. I just hang with them, and I look beautiful.
I think you should go in there and get your Emmy. Go get your Emmy. Take care. Bye-bye.
And I think he did. I think I predicted the future. I think he definitely won that year. And I think we have one more interview with Crystal, who plays Lily, our favorite person, right, guys? But she's so sweet. Here's Crystal.
Clown on the show.
Ooh, there's a lot of people. I would say Joshua Morrow is a huge set clown. Thad Luckenbill, Christoph is one. I mean, we all kind of are in our own way, but I think Josh is probably like the most, I think.
Who's the show flirt?
Oh, all the guys, all of them, every single one of them. Billy, Daniel, Josh, Christoph. Everyone except for Brighton. Brighton's good about that. He doesn't flirt like that.
He's nominated. So exciting.
I'm very excited for him, yeah.
And what is your favorite thing about being on the show? It's such a wonderful, amazing soap opera.
It's just like the best job, great people to work with. It feels like a home. You know, you're at the same place every day. You're not traveling a lot. So you just really get comfortable and in that home feeling. I love it.
Well, you're amazing on the show, and I think you're going to be up next year, hopefully. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Crystal. You look wonderful. Bye. Bye.
She's so sweet. She's gorgeous. I know we rag on Lily all the time on the show, but Crystal is so sweet. Oh my God, she's very sweet. And thank you, Emma. I actually do a lot of red carpet events. That was my only daytime Emmys. And because the daytime Emmys are coming up next Sunday, I wanted to, and we're not going to be doing the show next Sunday. I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of a throwback of when I was at the daytime Emmys and I covered the carpet. So that's really cool. So I think let's do best and worst dress. Do we have time for best and worst dress? Yes. Let's do best and worst dress of the week. So I'm going to give my best dress of the week to Ashley in this beautiful gold dress number. I mean, that was the perfect dress to wear to the Met, obviously, but also to have her kiss with Ravi. No wonder why he couldn't keep his hands off of her. That didn't sound right because Ravi's so sweet and innocent. No, it was a great kiss, and she looks amazing in this outfit. I just think she's so beautiful. I love Ashley. I love, Eileen Davison. She's one of my favorite Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Her and Erica Jane are my two faves. So yeah, I definitely give best dress to Ashley this week. And my worst dress, I hate giving a worst dress of the week, but no one was really worst dressed, but I guess if I have to give it to somebody, I'm going to give it to Victoria for, I don't know what to call this dress. It's like multicolored, weird green color. I don't know. It just really wasn't flattering as far as the color scheme. She's very thin. She has a great body. I think something more interesting would have been a better fit for Victoria. I'm not a fan of that number at all. Emma is agreeing that Ashley looks incredible. Derek also agrees with that. Yeah, unfortunately, Victoria, she's normally dressed really cute, but I don't know what kind of went wrong with this number. It's just like, yeah. But like I said, there's no really worst dress of the week. It's like if this is as bad as it gets, it's not that bad. So, I don't know. I have to give a worst dress because you guys love this segment so much. Emma says it looks like two fabrics put together. Yeah, like 2 or 3 fabrics put together. I don't know. I don't agree with it all. But I'm going to leave you guys with my song, Best Bad Idea. Because I don't know, I feel like that sums up this week a little bit with Billy and Phyllis, Because I don't know. I feel like it could be bad with them. It could be bad, but it's so good. So yeah, this is Best Bad Idea. This is the Restless wrap-up. If you guys don't already like our Facebook page, Restless Wrap-Up, please go and like it. And you may follow me, Abbey Scott, on all social media at Abbey Scott 1. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Snapchat, I'm on Twitter. I do it all. And you guys can also Follow me on Facebook. We can be friends. We should be friends. And I want to give a shout out to everyone in the live chat. We got some new people, which I'm really excited about. We got Derek, we got Tim, we got Emma. Thank you guys so much for joining the conversation, making the show that much better. And you guys are awesome. Let's jam out. Thanks, Emma. A little chump change, a little cash down, then you'll hear me sing that sweet sound. You make it hurt, but still I can't stop. You make it work and make it so hard. Bye guys. You make me feel what I should not. You're the best idea that I got.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.